Hello everyone, my name's Super, Destiny Enthusiast, and today I have an Axion Bolt build for the Warlock class. I have both an endgame build and a regular build to showcase today. Both do the same thing, one is just better suited for endgame activities than the other one. There will be a timestamp for that specific endgame build in the top right corner of your screen, as well as some gameplay and GM content at the end of the video. That said, let's get into it. Now, for this build, you're going to want to have Graviton Lance. I know you probably haven't heard of this weapon in a while, but it actually has a few secret perks that I'll go over in a moment that makes this build so much better. Now, for exotic armor, you're going to want to have Verity's Brow, and for subclass, I'm going to recommend Top Tree Nova Bomb to charge up your grenades to do extra damage, and to also take advantage of Bloom, which causes enemies to explode on void ability kills. Now, for mods, you're going to want to put on 2 Elemental Armament mods, 2 Explosive Wellmaker mods, and 1 Bountiful Wells mod. Now, why do you want these mods? Well, Elemental Armaments will create Elemental Wells with a weapon matching your subclass, that being Void, that being Graviton Lance. And Explosive Wellmaker will create Solar Elemental Wells whenever you kill an enemy with an explosion. And Bountiful Wells will allow all of these to stack, creating additional Elemental Wells. Now, you may be wondering, okay, but why should I use Graviton Lance? Well, here's why. Graviton Lance's exotic perk, Cosmology, where whenever you get a kill with it, causes the enemy to detonate, creating void projectiles that track to targets. Now, what Bungie hasn't told you is that these projectiles count as both explosive kills and weapon kills, kinda like how a Headstone Stasis Crystal counts as a weapon kill. Well, Graviton Lance's projectiles, or Seekers, count for 2 in 1, that being both a weapon kill and an explosive kill. This allows it to proc both Explosive Wellmaker and Elemental Armaments, just by getting a primary kill. And then, when the projectiles get a kill, the explosion, after getting the kill, will cause more Seekers to spawn in, creating more wells, and letting this tracking explosion to chain and seek after enemies. And we aren't even at the good part of this build yet. The good part of the build is that the projectiles that Graviton Lance creates whenever you get a kill count as weapon kills, which also counts and procs Verity's Brow's exotic perk as well. You could kill a single enemy in a room full of ads and then leave that room, and the Cosmology explosions will still be proccing, creating elemental wells in the background, refreshing your Verity's Brow while you move on to another room. And since you have Verity's Brow and elemental wells, you can pretty much just infinitely spam and throw mini Nova Bomb Axion bolts consistently at any enemy you want. This build is perfect for ad control and ad density. Now, for those who are interested in the GM version of this build, I'll be explaining that now. Now, for the GM version of this build, you only need to switch 2 mods. Take one of the Elemental Armament mods off, and take one of the Explosive Wellmaker mods off, and replace them with Protective Light and Elemental Charge, and you are all set. That's all you need to do for the GM version of this build. The rest of the build will work out the same as the regular build and do all the work for you. Now, for GMs, I would recommend using this build in Lake of Shadows, The Corrupted, Proving Grounds, basically any GM that has a high amount of ads that need to be killed quickly. This build will shine in those situations. Now, I will mention that there does seem to be a bug with Graviton Lance where Cosmology will not trigger whenever you kill a Shank, Servitor, or a Harpy. Only those ads specifically will not proc. It is weird, but it honestly doesn't hinder the build that much, as you can just solve it by just yeeting a grenade at them. But it is worth a mention. But with that said, that is it for this build. I'll let some of the GM footage of me using this build play out. Comment down below what you think, and I'll see you all in the next build. Bye bye.